From a super secret location deep within the mountains of Colorado, it's time to strap up, strap in, or strap on with your host, Shenanigans in One Shot. It's From the Ashes Radio!
Ladies and gentlemen, and whatever else you might be in this day and age, we don't give a shit about things like that. But hey, welcome to From the Ashes Radio on About Face Media. We are super glad you are here. Thank you to all of those that support us, like Thigh Huggers and Combat Flip Flops and C4. Drywall and what was you found a whole bunch of new noises and stuff. That's not even on the soundboard. That's in look, you got folks, you ought to see Joe nodding right now. And these are in StreamYard. These aren't even on the soundboard. You ought to see all the goodies Joe's got now. And there's a button that says more sounds. That's a little concerning. And it's got a volume button. Okay. See, this is why we have Joe, the producer, because Joe goes and finds all these cool little goodies and new knickknacks and things like that. Ladies and gentlemen, so One Shot has tonight off. The man just works too hard. He's just too hardworking. So we had to give him tonight. Take tonight, spend the time with the fam, do your thing. He's got too much to do, so we gave him the night off. So it's just you and I tonight, folks. Really appreciate you being here. We strategically planned this show so that it is on just before Monday Night Football, so you're not missing anything. If you are joining us and were a part of WTF Moments, we're glad you're here. Thank you for being a part of the show. All kinds of good other shows you could be listening to, but you chose to be with us. We are very glad you're here. Thanks for being here, being with us. Hey, because it is just me, it is even more important that I get to see all of your comments, all of your participation. I need to see all of you guys and all your little comments dropping in here on YouTube, Facebook, any other way that you're following us, any other way you can drop a comment in here. By all means, love to hear what you got. We're going to have some great stuff on here in just a little while. In just a little while, we're going to hear from James with Restoring Our Heroes. We're going to have Allie in just a little while. All kinds of good stuff. How did I put a bag in front of the whiteboards? Now I can't see all the stuff that I'm supposed to be talking about. That's okay. Don't worry about it. I know what we're doing. We'll get this figured out. Folks, it's been a hell of a week, and I'd love to hear your thoughts on what's been going on in our world. Hostages released after 2 years. Holy heck. 2 years as a hostage under Hamas. Holy shit. Joe, you grew up under like Benjamin Netanyahu and what was that dude's name? Yasser Arafat. Remember when you were a kid and seeing Yasser Arafat on TV with Ronald Reagan and all that shit? Holy shit, man. Did you ever think you'd see this day where Palestinians would be releasing Israeli hostages and shit, dude? I never thought I'd see this day, and here we are 2 years later. You're seeing hostages being released. That's pretty impressive stuff. That's good stuff. I'm glad to see that this has gone the way it is. Also, we're going to end the show with our Never Forgotten segment. Yesterday did not get a lot of fanfare, did not get a lot of recognition. Yesterday was the 25th anniversary of the bombing of the USS Cole. Our Never Forgotten will be the 17 sailors that we lost with the USS Cole. That's very important to remember. We can't forget anniversaries like that. So what else is going on? There's been all kinds of craziness in the news, all kinds of stuff going on, all kinds of craziness in our military. We're coming up on the 15th really quick. And on the 15th will be the first time that our American service members are not going to receive their paycheck due to a government shutdown. If you are an American service member and you're hearing my voice and you are about to not get paid on the 15th, let's hear from you. Let's hear how you are coping as a family member. So I've served for 26 years. We went through several government shutdowns during our time in the military. In 2014, I was in the U.S. Army's recruiting school when the government shutdown happened, and they sent us home from the recruiting school. When that happened, they sent us home from recruiting school. We were halfway through school. They sent us home. We were obviously we were at what was that, Fort Jackson, South Carolina. They sent us home. We're halfway through school. They sent us home from school, back to our duty station or whatever, and that would have been obviously October because of when that happened. They couldn't get us back into recruiting school until January. Go back to recruiting school, finish things up, life is good or whatever. This is 2014. I love that you're playing with chords like, what the fuck does this chord do? Are you finding chords that you don't know what they go to right now? That's awesome. For those that don't know, we just got a new, that's awesome. After our Mike Durant interview, the next week we had on the Special Operations Warrior Foundation, and our computer died as we were getting ready to and it shut down the only reason we knew is because our camera was flickering. And then when we went to go do our interview and we had no audio with our guest, and Joe determined that our laptop had died. So that caused us to, in a panic, have to purchase a new computer. And now Joe is kind of looking around the studio and he's like, what the fuck is this cord for? You got to see the look on his face now. He's like, what does this go to?
Hope everything's working.
Folks, how do we sound? Let us know how we sound and if you can hear us okay. And we'll find out when we get James on in just a little while here, and actually in just a few minutes. Anyway, so I'm in recruiting school. They sent us back in January. I retired. That was in 2014. I retired from the Army in 2020. A few years after retirement, probably 3 or 4 years after retirement, or 2 or 3 years after retirement, I get a letter from the government that says, hey, you owe $7,000 in back travel pay because when the government shutdown happened and you got sent home, you continued to get pay for travel pay for while you were in recruiting school. And I'm like, I did. I believe you. I don't remember that, but I believe you. Or you didn't complete the mission in 2014. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Anyway, I owed the government $7,000 is what they were telling me. And they're like, hey, unless you have documentation from 2014 that says that you did complete the mission, then you owe the government $7,000. And I'm like, bitch, I only fucking keep tax records for 3 years. Why would I have records from 2014? And it's like 2023 at this point. Why would I have that? Or 2022, whatever it was. And so I go to my congressman at the time, and I'm like, hey, what the fuck? Help me out here. And he's like, he spends 3 months with it, his rep and all that shit. And he comes back to me after 3 months, and he's like, yeah, you need a lawyer. I'm like, what the fuck? So I bring it to like 3 different lawyers, and they're all like, yeah, we're not fighting the government on this one. Just pay the money. And I ended up paying $7,000 back to the United States government because they shut down in 2014. You want to talk about a fucking pissed off wife? Here I am retired, and I'm still paying back money from when I was active duty in 2014. So, folks, if you don't think that this government shutdown is going to affect your American soldiers, the ripple effects from what's about to happen are going to affect American soldiers and service members for years to come. It's not just going to happen right now. This is going to affect them for at least the next 10 years. This is not a simple thing. This is not a splash in the bucket. This is going to have huge ramifications for years to come. The fuck ups are going to be awful. And if you're paying attention, raise your hand if you were impacted by the government shutdown in 2025. Yeah, exactly. Let's hear what you got to say. What I'm seeing from places like WTF Moments and from a few other places you would not expect, like USAA, service members usually can count on USAA to make a deposit on the 15th equivalent to their pay that they would normally get. And, you know, hey, USA, the government usually catches up with them. And, you know, hey, you're good. We know the government is going to open back up. You'll get a paycheck. The government usually catches up with us. Life is good. Well, what's happening this time, for whatever strange reason, I have no idea why USA is doing this. They're making service members apply, and they're applying for high interest loans through USAA. And some of them are getting denied.
A lot are getting denied.
Or a lot of them are getting, is that what you're hearing too? You're hearing the same thing, Joe?
Even with decent credit, they're getting denied.
Wow.
And I have USAA.
We've gotten away from USAA because ultimately they've never done anything for us.
The president or CEO of USAA sent out a letter a couple weeks ago, or whenever we first shut down, saying, "Oh, we're going to honor the vets. We're going to make sure that y'all have pay, and we'll back y'all up." Nowhere in there did it talk about a loan.
Wow. So USAA, you're fucking it up. You're doing it wrong. You are screwing the American soldier. You had a golden opportunity here to make yourselves look good and do the right thing, and you didn't. What does that say from Glenn Johnson? That's the government for you. They pay you $100 and they take back 99. You're exactly right, Glenn. You're exactly right. For those that don't know Glenn, that's Doc J, as we know and love him. Yeah, what a bunch of bullshit, man. Did you want to pull up Combat Carl real quick? Some of that shit's pretty fucking funny, I think. What do we have for Combat Carl this week? It was pretty fucking funny, other than the fatties. Oh, the shaving profiles. I love this one. We might have talked about this one already. I'm not positive. So for those that don't know, Sec War, Pistol Pete, is saying, hey, yeah, no more shaving profiles.
Secretary of War.
Dude, what a great fucking title, dude. I love that dude. That dude went from Sec Death to Sec War. What a fucking awesome
I'm a
title.
little chubby just thinking of it.
That is so awesome. Hey, what did you do after? I know you were a host on Fox News and you were a major in the Army. What'd you do after that? Oh, I was the Secretary of War. I just love that title. He's
Called
Sec
all
War.
the generals fat.
Exactly. And now he's saying, hey, no more beards. All you guys that were like, oh, I'm a pagan and I'm a Norse and I'm a this, that, and the other thing and blah, 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 blah. No, bitch, you're not. You absolutely are not. You are not you're not Norse. You are not a fucking Viking, any of that shit.
You're in the military.
You're in the United States military. Get that shit off your face. If you are in SF or something like that, and you're going to a place where, you know, you need a change in grooming habits or whatever that may be, you're going to get your memo, and that's it. Now, other than that, no, that shit is coming off your face, and people have been doing it for years. I get it. All the black guys that are, you know, got the ingrown hairs, and what do they call it? Folliculitis. That's what it's called when you have that.
Like your what?
I'll tell you when you're older. After the show goes off the air.
Don't show me though.
Yeah, exactly. This belt is hard to get undone. I'll show you later. And they're pulling them in. Pulling them in 6 people at a time and telling them your shaving profile is deleted now. You have no go shave.
Wah, wah.
Yeah, I get it. I totally get it. Did you ever have I'm guessing you didn't in the Marines. Probably did not ever give out any kind of.
It was very rare. But
Yeah.
you could tell like they needed it, like the afterburn or
Yeah.
the aftershave. You know, is horrible.
I mean, I'm guessing in the Marine Corps, you're more likely to get chaptered out than you are to get a shaving profile if you had that.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
You had to be pretty locked on and valuable.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they just tell you bleed out. We don't care.
Exactly. Go sit there and bleed and shut up because you're not getting a shaving profile.
Yeah.
It's not happening, bro. Yeah. The only time I ever had modified grooming standards was when I was in Washington D.C. and my wife. I came home one time. My wife met me at the airport and she's like, "Fuck no, take that shit off your face," because it was all nasty, and gross looking and shit. And she's like, "No, you look like you're fucking homeless. Take that shit off your face."
We've been OIF and OEF.
Yeah.
Being deployed. Same.
Yep. Get
Always,
that shit
every
off your
day,
face.
every day.
Yeah. Well, so the only time I didn't get a lot of shit about it was when we were, you know, the first push in OIF.
Mhm.
and we didn't have enough water for drinking. And so, like, if you had some stubble on your face or whatnot, the commander would be like, "Hey, get that shit off your face." Other than that, that was the only time. Like, our team leader, he didn't give a shit. Like, if you had 3 days growth on your face, he wasn't giving you a hard time about it at all because we didn't have water to drink.
Yeah.
So you had, I think, 1 bottle of water to drink a day and 2 MREs per day.
We would be told dry shave.
Yeah.
Come on, Marine, dry shave.
Oh, God. I'm sorry. That was 1 bottle of water a day and 1 MRE a day. And as a fat kid, dude, that 1 MRE a day, that fucking killed me.
That's all you need, though. Back you up for 2 days.
Theoretically, yeah. I mean, good Lord. And all the skinny guys were like, "What's up, man? You doing okay?" I'm like, "I'm not doing okay. Can I have your crackers?" I was awful, dude. It was so bad. I did not do well those first 6 months.
Those crackers.
I'm so hungry. Well, and I had friends who were in Afghanistan for that initial push, like infantry and whatnot. And like, yeah, the big kids, like Operation Anaconda guys and whatnot, that were infantry and whatnot, that 1 MRE, 1 bottle of water a day, like those fat kids in the infantry, they didn't do well with that 1 bottle of water, 1 MRE a day, humping through the mountains and shit.
That shit sucked balls.
They did not do well. Like, yeah, them big boys on 1 MRE a day, 1 bottle of water, and like you weren't getting care packages and mail and shit.
No, it wasn't set up. They didn't have like Taco Bell and fucking Pizza Hut.
You weren't getting nothing. No, all you were getting, yeah, exactly. There was no dip. You weren't getting shit in that first push. So it was 1 nasty bottle of water, 1 nasty MRE a day, and you ate everything in that fucking brown wrapper.
You didn't get to choose the MRE either.
No. If you got the 4 fingers of death, you got those hot dogs, enjoy your hot dogs, man.
That's it.
Oh, God. I remember I was a young E5, and I remember the first time I walked past the MRE box. You're supposed to walk by, grab whatever you get, and keep walking. And I paused for a second and kind of did one of these to the box. And that captain fucking smacked my hand and he's like, "Fuck you, grab what you get and keep walking." And I was like, "Oh, God damn, I just want the cheeseburger, please. I just want some meatloaf." And and he's like, "Nope, you can trade. Get the fuck out of here. Keep walking." But in the meantime, we are over time, and I apologize. I'm wasting James' time. Can we bring up our guest for the day so we can talk about restoring our heroes? James, how the heck are you, man? Can you hear me okay? Can you hear us? James?
Yes, sir. How are you?
I'm better than I deserve. Damn, you are a handsome young man. How's your day so far?
Oh, I appreciate you too much.
That is a large collection of hats you got back there.
Yeah, I was wondering if you were going to ask me about that. I have a hat fetish, and my wife created this for me so the hats wouldn't be laying around.
That's pretty awesome. My wife, I have all mine in a hall closet. And like
Yes.
she opens the door and they all rain down on top of her, and she's like, "This shit's got to change, bro."
Yeah. And that's why we have this.
That's pretty awesome, dude. I have like a little hangy thing in my closet, and like,
Okay.
yeah, it does not work the way I'd like it to. But
You're
hey,
right.
man, that's a pretty impressive. What's on the plaque behind you? What does that say?
And so what it says is a warrior feeds his body well. He trains it, works it. Where he lacks knowledge, he studies. But above all, he must believe. He must believe in his strength of will, of purpose, and heart and soul.
Is that a quote? Where did that come
It
from?
is. It's David Gemwell, or Gemmell. One of my friends in the state police actually made that for me because I absolutely love that quote. Absolutely.
I do too. That is banging, man. That is a great plaque to have behind you and sit with you all the time. I love that.
Yeah,
and that's an excellent statement too. I love it.
Yeah, it's something that I live by. I mean, it's especially being a first responder, military. I mean, there's days where it's a little rough around the edges, and I just kind of look at that and go, "Okay, let's go. It's time to get moving." So.
I get you, man. I totally, and we're going to come back to that in a hot second.
Okay.
We here on this show, we love Laura. Laura is the best of people, but she's like, "Hell no, I'm not coming on your radio show."
I know.
Absolutely not. And then she threw you in under the bus and said you were going to be the guy.
Yes.
What's up, man? Does she not like us? You can tell us.
No, she actually likes you guys a lot. She kind of filled me in. Did you marry them? Her and Matt?
I did, as a matter of fact. Yes.
Oh.
In an alternate universe, I'm Father Bob, and yes, I did conduct their wedding. It was a very good time. I had a great time doing it. One of the most. I was very honored to have the opportunity to conduct their wedding. I had a
Sure.
really, really, really good time doing it. And it was beautiful. They're a beautiful couple, and I really enjoyed my time doing it. I was very honored to do it.
I got to know them a lot better this year. I've known Laura for a couple of years, but I never really got to know her until this year when we did our retreat, and now we're on the board together. So she is just a truly amazing individual. I mean, she just is like, there's things that she is very knowledgeable that I just don't, and it's pretty cool. So we have a great board, and having her on there, I mean, it's just been an amazing experience.
Her and her husband are the best of
Yes.
people. She asked me to do the that Irish knot thing for their wedding.
Okay.
And I had never done. I've done a bunch of weddings, and I had never done that before.
Yep.
And I had like a 3-month lead where I got to practice. So, dude, I must have tied my family's hands together about a dozen times, and I kept fucking it up. So I kept tying them. Yeah, dude, I can barely tie my shoes. Yeah, you know, I got zippers on all my shoes and slip-on shoes and whatnot. And I kept tying my family's hands together and knotting them and fucking it up. And so I'm like, all right, we're gonna have to cut this. So I kept practicing with like shoelaces, 50 cord, parachute cord, all kinds of shit. But, hey, wedding went off without a hitch.
You did good.
And that's huge.
You did well.
That's pretty cool.
All right. So for those that don't know, James, tell us about your time in service. Are you a veteran yourself?
I was in the Marine Corps for 6 years. I did some active duty time as well as reserve time. I was in an infantry unit. We specialize in cold weather mountaineering operations. So
that sounds horrible.
Yes. Yeah. It's the cold weather. That was in Norway, Bridgeport, California. That's how I actually learned how to ski. Was Bridgeport, and I had this misconception that they had some sort of tow line to bring us up the mountains, and that was false. We had a duck walk up the mountain. So, a lot of good training, but I got really exposed to skiing, and I'm originally from the East Coast. So,
where on the East Coast?
Grew up in Vermont and worked in New Hampshire.
I'm from Connecticut, so I feel your pain. So I'm assuming you're calling us from Colorado. I assume.
Oh, I am. I moved. Yeah, after I retired from the state police, I moved out here. My wife and I, 2019. I retired in 2017.
Very nice. Congratulations.
Thanks.
I was in Hawaii 2 weeks ago, and I have not been warm since I came back. I've been freezing my fucking ass off in Colorado every day since I came back. Today in particular, I'm freezing my fucking balls off. So
it's pretty chilly out there, but
no,
but it's not like New Hampshire.
It's only like 50 fucking degrees, and I'm freezing my nuts off, dude. It's gonna be a long winter for me, man. I'm not.
Nah, it's not bad. I'm usually in t-shirt and shorts unless it's really cold. So.
Our producer walked in wearing a pair of flip-flops, and I'm like, dude, what the fuck? You're killing me, man. I'm wearing like insulated boots. I got long johns on and shit. I'm freezing my ass off. I'm going home after the show and getting in the hot tub because I'm dying here, man.
I was thinking about taking a cold plunge. So,
dude, you just made me more cold. Anyway, so you do your time in the Marine Corps, finish up with the Marines, and you said you were a state police officer?
I was
in what state?
I was in real law enforcement for 26 years. I worked in corrections in the state of Vermont, and then I really became a police officer in the town of Hanover, New Hampshire, where Dartmouth College is. And I worked in that community for about 3.5 years. And then I was with the state police for 20. And like I said, retired in 2017.
One of our favorite listeners, who I believe is listening right now, her name is Heidi. She is listening from New Hampshire. So you have worldwide listeners right now.
Oh, that's amazing.
And they are happy to be listening to you right this. I believe it's New Hampshire, if I'm correct. I could be wrong on that one. I'm not positive. I think it's New Hampshire. But anyway, it doesn't matter. So now here you are in the great state of Colorado, which is God's country because everybody loves it. And you are part of Restoring Our Heroes. Tell us, what is Restoring Our Heroes? What do you guys do?
Yeah, absolutely. So this program's been going on for about 3 years now, and what the founder of the program is Bob Briggs, Dr. Bob Briggs. He invited me to the very first retreat, and I had met him through work, And he brought me out to, along with some other veterans, to Colburn and Little Creek Ranch, where we did events. We went and we're hoping, we would get to do some more activities that were geared around mental health, in which he did. Not sure he knew what he was doing, but he felt very strongly, very passionate about it. When the retreat ended, I went up to him and I told him, I said, you definitely have something here. And so I was a participant the first year, last year, and then this year he asked me to be part of, be a mentor, take on a more role with the organization. And what we're doing is we are bringing first responders and veterans out to Colorado, based off of referrals. So I have a lot of friends back in New Hampshire still on the job. I brought a couple out with me last year, just for that mental health. Because after I retired, I was not in a good way. I had carried 26 years of baggage, been involved in a lot of critical incidents, and just trying to process them, even to this day, can sometimes be a challenge. So having other men and women that you've worked with, being in a setting, not in a room or a classroom, but out in nature, and having those real authentic conversations. And it can be very emotional, but we all have tools, and we can all share these tools amongst ourselves so that we can be better husbands. We can be better family members, be better dads or moms. Because sometimes we do forget about our families, especially in the job. And so we want to help restore, because the way I look at it is, I was always told as a dad, it takes a community to raise your kids, but it takes a community also to restore our heroes. And so we want to make sure that men and women, especially after they get done, whether it's in the military or law enforcement or first responder, fire service, paramedic, that they can have a good retirement, that they're not dealing with the demons and the mental health after they retire. And we want to make sure that they have a good, productive life. So we'll bring.
Not agree with you more with the things that you are saying right now.
Yeah.
It is incredible. So I spent 26 years in the Army, but I also spent 26 years as a paramedic.
Sure.
And I even knowing that, hey, Roy Gagney, Chief, glad to see you're here, and it's okay that you're late. My buddy Roy Gagney just became a chief in a fire department on the East Coast.
Oh, that's amazing! Congratulations.
Very, very proud of him. And even knowing, as I got ready to retire, the obstacles that I was going to face, one of the very first things we did is we got into couples counseling. I got myself into counseling myself.
Yes.
I knew all the obstacles I was going to face. Completely unprepared. Was not ready at all. To the point where my children found me face down, drunk in my living room, passed out completely in my own vomit. And I was like, what the actual fuck, man?
Yes.
Awful. Absolutely awful. And I knew it was coming, and I knew these things were coming. And so unacceptable, just completely. And I have friends now that are getting ready to retire that reach out and they're like, hey man, any advice for retirement? And I'm like, you're not ready. You are not prepared. And the military is not going to prepare you, because that is not their job. And I don't understand why people don't grasp this concept. They're like, oh, the military doesn't prepare you when they let you loose. That's not what the military exists for.
Right.
They exist to go forward, kill shit, and break shit.
Yes.
They don't exist to transition you into being a civilian.
Right.
Stop expecting them to do that. Stop expecting that. That is your job when you retire, or when you ETS, or when you get out. It is now your responsibility to become a human being again. You are done being a killer. Now it's time to become a person.
Well, that's a huge challenge too, because they don't know any other way. And even as a state trooper, I lost my identity. I didn't know what else to do. And I was trying to find things, to keep me occupied. But the problem was I just kept on, this is who I am. This is what I did. And now I'm not getting any text messages. I'm not getting any phone calls. And it was very challenging because now you feel like you're going into this by yourself and you're suffering in silence. And so you're trying to find ways to numb that pain. And again, I've heard it time and time again. Usually it's the drinking. Usually it's prescription meds, or we start abusing meds. We try to find something that we can control, and usually it's spiraling. What's sad to me is that I've heard this time again that, especially in law enforcement, I've even seen it in the military too, that you got to at least have one divorce. And within law enforcement, I've had one divorce, and I'm like, okay, I guess I can check off that box. But we shouldn't have to be doing this. We shouldn't have to sacrifice our families, our kids, our families, because of this job. But we do. And sometimes we're blinded. We don't even see it. We don't even realize we're doing it. I didn't, when I would come home after a tough call, one of the things I hated to do was close my eyes, because then I would have to vision it all over again. And even though I was on the peer support team, I knew how to help. I could help other guys, but I didn't know how to help myself. And so I would get home and maybe pop some beers just to kind of relax, try to numb myself. But then again, I didn't have time to process all these critical incidents. And I think a lot of veterans feel the same way. They don't process them because we don't dare share this, because then we're shown as weak. As men, we're not supposed to be weak. We're supposed to be the protectors. We're supposed to be the providers. And yet here I am. I can't manage what's going on in my life. I'm out of control. And it just can spiral, and to the point where I've lost so many friends to suicide. And it bothers me.
Well, me as well, and Joe as well, and everybody.
Yeah,
here,
absolutely, everybody.
Well, and you said something a few minutes ago, or a minute or two ago, that really kind of strummed the guitar. You said, and we feel like we're going through it alone.
Yes.
If you're hearing my voice right now, I need you to understand you are not going through it alone. You are not by yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? There's a lot of people that would much rather sit with you, have a cigar,
yes,
have a coffee, sit out in the cold, have a conversation with you, sit on the tailgate, have a conversation with you, than have to carry your fucking casket.
Yes.
Have the conversation. Tell them what you're going through. Talk to your friends. It doesn't mean send a text message. It means pick up the phone, or worse than that, go fucking show up on their front door.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
So tell us about Restoring Our Heroes. What are you guys doing?
And you just hit upon it. I am sick and tired of seeing guys, men and women, suffering in silence, like they feel like they can't communicate, or they're going to be judged on how they're feelings. And that's why I'm passionate about Restoring Our Heroes and the other members of our team, Laura, Cisco, Bob, because we want to have those conversations. We don't want people to suffer in silence. We want to have those real, authentic conversations, whether we're doing equine therapy, whether we're on the whitewater, doing a rafting trip, just spending time together at the rodeo. So we're doing all these events that are geared towards mental health, and then just even sitting down and just doing a group session. And it's not like, okay, this is what we have to do. It's just not. It's having those conversations that are real, authentic, and there's no really like guidance. We just have that conversation, but then it gets real. They're in a safe place, and it's confidential. And if we need help, we have staff on site that can help. Especially if there's a trigger and we're not able to help them through it. So we do have, and that's why Restoring Our Heroes, we're out in the woods and out in Colburn, on a ranch. There's no cell service. We keep it, we want to keep the groups about like probably 7, 8 men and women, because then folks have to really kind of get involved. They can't kind of hide behind other people. And they end up start talking, and it's truly amazing. The first day, everybody's kind of unsure, but after that, the conversations are everywhere, and it's just truly amazing how people just opened up because they trust us. They know it's confidential. It's not going to go, and we're not going to tell anybody. what we have to be careful about is, one, if they do say that they want to harm themselves or others, then we have to take immediate action. But other than that, those conversations are confidential because we want those, there was one particular one that was with us, and he was struggling. And once we talked about it, because we're all in that same boat, we all struggle, but what are those tools that we can help to get through those? And between all of us, we have something that we've learned over the years that might help. And it's just, like I said, it's just been an amazing experience. And the reward for us is that when they go home, they're like, wow, they're just a different person. They feel a different person. The work has never got to stop. We can't just stop, because if we do, we could easily fall backwards. So it's always, we have to continue that work if we want to get better.
Well, because you're just getting started. I mean,
yes,
and the rafting and the equine therapy and the horseback riding and the fly fishing and all that stuff, that is not the therapy part of it. That's just cracking open the bottle.
Correct.
That's just getting us started.
Mm-hmm.
It's when you're sitting on the bank and you're chilling out afterwards.
Yes.
And the conversation starts.
Yes.
And it's not, look, professionals have a place. I get
Yes.
it. Sitting down on a couch and having a conversation with a professional and learning some techniques and learning some tools has a place. But talking to a peer,
mm-hmm.
completely different thing.
It is.
Talking to someone that has walked in the same mud you have,
yes,
completely different thing. That's where it matters, especially someone that's been a police officer,
mm-hmm.
been a Marine.
Mm-hmm.
That's someone that has stood on those yellow footprints.
Yes.
And been through that same crucible that you have. I'm not a Marine. Don't get the wrong impression.
Oh.
I was in the Army. I was in the Army. My producer, Joe, that homeboy, that dude has stood on those yellow footprints.
Yes.
He has suffered. But yeah, I mean, someone who has gone through the same things that you have.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow. So yeah, we're getting some messages on the side that, this interview is really kind of tugging on some chords with some folks. So yeah, you're striking some chords with folks.
Yeah.
Our listeners and our participants it really means a lot to them. You're doing good things with restoring our heroes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Look, man, folks love what you're doing.
Thank you.
How can they support what it is that you're doing? Are you looking for money? Are you looking for volunteers? Are you looking for what are you looking for? How can people support what you're doing?
We are in the process of right now of getting our next retreat in June. So we're already preparing for that. We could be potentially looking for volunteers. The other thing we're also looking for is donations too. And they can go to the restoringourheroes.org website, and there's a link on or a button you can push to donate. And it doesn't matter. Everything helps, because we want to make sure that the veterans and first responder come out here, that they don't have to worry about the plane fares, the food, the events. I want them to be just open-minded and be present, be right in the moment, and not have to worry about any of that. So we take care of all the costs. So the donations really do help us tremendously, because we want them to have the best event or the best retreat they've ever experienced. So that's how they can help us.
Do you need equipment? Do you need volunteers? What else do you need? What can people, because not all of our listeners are disgustingly wealthy like Joe is.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, that is probably the big thing. Donations with foods, things of that nature. They can definitely help out. We'll never turn anything down. Mostly it could be, the money if they did a donation, a small donation, or just even food to help us be able to, because we want to make sure that these guys get fed well. And because we are going, we start at like 6 o'clock in the morning. We don't get done until about 9 o'clock at night. So it's a long day.
I'm out.
It's a long day.
I'm out. As soon as you said 6 a.m., yeah, man, that's not me anymore. Yeah. Sorry, man. I'd love to help you. If you started at like noon.
Yeah.
Nope. I'm here to help. But after that, yeah, I'm happy to make the sandwiches or something, man. But 6 a.m. Yeah, man, I'm not that guy anymore.
Yeah, we get up early and we're gone throughout the day, And like I said, we're doing these events geared towards, and those again, those cost money. But we want to make sure that these folks have the best time and not have to worry about any cost. So that is the biggest thing. So,
Well, our favorite listener, Eduardo,
okay.
he is disgustingly wealthy.
Yep.
I'm sure he'll make a several $million-dollar
Oh my
donation.
goodness.
He's listening right now.
Man, I'd shake his hand.
Ed, I'm glad you're listening. He's got a lot of money. I'm sure he's happy to make a huge donation. Ed, glad you're here. Thanks for listening.
And I guess one more thing I wanted to share, because you had a chief on that's a brand new chief, fire chief, and if he had men and women in his department that were struggling, maybe and needed some guidance, man, I would love to have that communication with him and see how we could help him or bring one of his firemen out to the retreat.
After the show goes off the air, I will connect you with that chief. And yeah, it's a small department, but I will definitely connect you with him immediately after this. I want to be respectful of your time, James.
Yes, sir.
What do you call it? So normally I would pass you off to my hetero life mate, but he has the evening off. We try to practice what we preach around here on From the Ashes. So he is spending time with family this evening.
Good.
What do you call it? So normally this is what we call your time to shine. We give you 2 minutes, completely uninterrupted. That's bullshit. I'm absolutely going to interrupt you. This is your time. I may have glossed over a question. I may have missed something. I may have skipped over something that you wanted to talk about. I'm going to give you 2 minutes completely uninterrupted. The microphone is completely yours. Don't forget to give out all your socials, your handles, where people can donate. Your websites are scrolling across the bottom of the screen right now.
Yes.
But the platform is all yours. Go for it, dude.
Yeah, absolutely. And I appreciate everybody that is listening tonight. That's first and foremost. Again, with Restoring Our Heroes, we bring our veterans and first responders out to Colorado. So we are bringing them out from New Hampshire to, this year was Utah, Missouri, Michigan. So it's not just police officers. It can be veterans. It can be paramedics, firemen. We want to try to help everybody that we can because of the mental health. I know for a fact, and I know how it affected me, is when I retired, I didn't know how to release some of this stuff or how to even begin, because as a Marine, as a state trooper, I had this image that I had to portray, that I was tough, I was strong, but there were things that just, you wouldn't know it until I went home, that cracked me. I have and I wasn't sure how to ask for help. And the problem that I ran into was, when I did ask for help, I felt like I got punished, that my cruiser, my gun, my identity was taken away from me, and I couldn't understand why, because I was asking for help. And I don't want our first responders or our veterans to have to go through that they didn't do anything wrong. There's no weakness. There's no shame in saying, hey, I need some help. And once I did that, my life changed. I'm not saying I don't still have my struggles. I'm not perfect, but at least I have people that I can talk to now, that I have tools to help me through that. And that's what I want to see. It just breaks my heart when I see somebody take their own life, and they leave that pain onto the family. And I want to be there to help them. You know, I realize I can't take care of everybody, but if I can, I mean, I used to think I could save everybody, but that's the reality. I couldn't. It just didn't happen. So that's why I am so passionate about restoring our heroes. I love my brothers and sisters. It doesn't matter what department you're from. I love our military. The men and women, they do an amazing job. And we have to be there to help them, guide them when they get done their duty, whether it's in the military or as a first responder. We have to be there to walk side by side with them and say, you are not by yourself. You don't need to suffer in silence. And that's my mission. I want to make sure that this is bigger than myself. This isn't about Jamie. This is about how I can help with my teammates, Laura, Cisco, and Bob, how we can help these other folks negotiate through these troubling times, these challenging times that you're not by yourself.
James, I would tell you when you started this 2 minutes, I need you to know that you are tough and you are strong because you reached out for that help. And it makes me proud to know you that you did reach out for that help. And that is the most important thing that you can do. So well done to you, and well done to our listeners that have done that.
Yes.
Do not suffer in silence.
Nope.
Find a buddy, have that conversation. Stop sending memes back and forth through Instagram. That is not communication. That is not seeking help. Sit down with a friend and have that conversation.
Mm-hmm.
So
if I could just add to that too, that, when you're sitting down, you don't have to fix them. Don't think you have to fix them. You might ask them questions geared toward, but the best thing is just be a listener. Just be a listener. We, as a state trooper, I always felt like I had to fix everybody. I had to fix, because I've been put in some serious situations where I felt like I had to fix it. But the reality is that I don't want you. I'm not going to try to fix you, but I'm going to listen to you and maybe help you, guide you to getting that necessary help.
And don't be afraid to ask that big question. Are you going to hurt yourself?
Yeah, that's tough. That's tough.
It is. It is. And you might not get the answer you're expecting.
Right. I just had my boss who I have the utmost respect for, who is a combat veteran. And he said to me, Jamie, do you have a safety plan? And I said to him, it kind of took me back, because I'm like, no, this doesn't happen to me. This happens to other guys. I don't need a safety plan. Why do I need this? And I was kind of upset about it. But then the reality was, what happens if I do go down a path that maybe I can't get myself out of, and my wife's not available? And so I was like, we need to have safety plans. And I was like, that is huge. No one told me I needed one, and we should all have a safety plan.
Yep, I agree completely. And what does that mean to you? When you say a safety plan, what does that mean to you? And I know I'm late for my other segment, Allie. I know, but this is important information. What does that mean to you, a safety plan?
So for me, that safety plan is if I'm in a bad way and I'm struggling, my first plan is to get a hold of my wife. My wife will help me through. She's been there through the thick and thin, so she knows to help me, kind of regain myself, get myself calmed back down, get myself refocused. But if she's not available, the next person in my chain is my boss. We've talked about it. So if I can't get a hold of my wife, then I get a hold of him, and he can help me. We have, if I need to go to the hospital, what hospital do I go to? We got that listed down too. It's not that I feel like I'm going to do anything or hurt myself, but I think it's smart. We, as veterans and first responders, we always have a plan for an event or a mission. Why aren't we having a plan for ourselves, for our self-care? So that's what it means to me, is having that self-care plan.
I love it. And first responders, veterans, it is not lesser of you to say to your friends, hey man, is it okay if I bring my my guns to your house and drop them off?
Yes. Yeah.
It is okay to say that. And I've done that for friends.
Yes.
I've done that for several friends. So it is okay to do that. And it
Absolutely.
is okay to say, hey, I don't trust myself right now. I need to bring my firearms to your place. Is that cool?
Yep.
And I've done that for a few different friends.
Absolutely. So. And that to me is like, that's a brother. That is a brother and a sister, asking those questions, and they're not easy either. They're tough, but we want to make sure that our folks are safe.
Is that you? Or is that me?
Nope, that would be me. I'm getting a text message.
Sorry. All right, James, you're a busy man. Go get done what you need to. Ladies and gentlemen, we've been talking with James with Restoring Our Heroes. James, I can't thank you enough. Please go to their website. Give them all the money that you have in your wallet and some of the money you don't have in your wallet. They have an event coming up in June, and they need your support. James, tell Laura we love her, and thank you very much for your support.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate everybody. Thank you so much.
Thanks for being a part of the show. Have a great rest of your evening.
I will. Thank you.
Good night. Well, that was cool. I didn't know we had those sounds. Allie, I'm so sorry, dude. I
No,
know I'm
no
late.
apologies. Can
I'm
I just like I just want to fucking hug that guy. Like James, hug. Like
Only because he's got the coolest facial hair.
I like yes. Like I don't like to compliment because sometimes I don't know if they're hiding behind like a ugly chin or whatever. So I don't be like, hey. But yeah, no, he seems like he's a cool guy, and I love his mission. I love what he's doing. And fuck, like I'm just coming off. I'm grieving. I'm still grieving. I just had a good friend of mine take her own life.
Goose. What happened? What happened?
Yeah. Her name is Jenny. Janelle, but she just goes by Jenny. And I'm trolling the Facebooks and I see like hey Jenny, you were so this, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, what the hell? And I call another friend of mine. I'm like, call me right now. She calls me. I'm like, is this for real? And she's like, yep. And I was like, what the fuck? And I was like, oh my God, was she killed in the line of duty? Because she's a deputy sheriff. And she's like, it was a suicide. And the scream that I let out and then the tears, I'm like, I don't believe it. I refuse to believe it. I refuse to believe it because 1, I met her at a suicide prevention walk. 2, she was all over everywhere, running around being cheerful and full of joy, and just, you called her when you were having a bad day. Like, she was just a fucking bright light, and I refuse to accept that it was a suicide. But we don't have any information because she was estranged from her mother, and her mother's not having a service for her. So we know nothing. We don't know. And I was like, you know what? I am more accepting if she got drunk and decided to clean her firearm and had an ND. Like, I accept that over her intentionally taking her life. When she knew she had hundreds of people on her contacts list ready and willing. Like, she was, when I first made the decision that I was going to ride a motorcycle, she was my biggest fucking supporter. She won a contest. Boston does like a best bike contest, and she won the Sportster division, and her Harley Davidson is like black and pink, and it's beautiful. And so I'm like, hey Jenny, I think I want to learn to ride. And she was just my biggest supporter on my first, and I'll never forget this, on my first solo ride. I Snapchatted her and I'm in a full face helmet, and and she was just like, yeah. And I was just like, she's like, you did it, I'm so fucking proud of you. And I will always have that memory. Like, I will always remember that so vividly. And to think that she took her own life, like, I can't wrap my head around it. I can't fucking do it. I can't do it. I don't know. I'm at a loss.
I'm sorry, Al. When did this happen?
Just a few days ago.
I'm sorry,
Yeah.
Al.
And we don't even have a service for her. Like, we have nothing. And rumor has it mother's just going to cremate her and toss her ashes into the Boston Harbor. I'm like, well, that's fucking illegal. You can't toss ashes into the Boston Harbor. Like, and so somebody created a memorial page. I'm like, ma'am, I urge you to reconsider having, a service for her. She meant so much to so many people. She walked in so many circles. Fuck, like, we need closure too. We need to be able to say goodbye. And so it started this whole fucking thing, and you're overstepping and blah, blah. And I'm like, listen, I'm not fucking demanding. I'm asking. I'm asking her to please change your mind. I'm not saying fuck off, you need to do it. I'm asking. So that just started a whole thing. I was like, you know what? It's fine. So I just don't understand. There were no signs. I don't care what anybody fucking says. Of all the assist classes I've taken, of all the suicide prevention classes I've taken, the QRT, and just all of them, I've taken just about fucking all of them. Like, oh, there were no fucking signs. She wasn't giving shit away. We actually had plans to ride together this October. She was coming up and we were riding together. So she had made plans weeks in advance. She wasn't giving shit away. She was reporting for work. Like, nobody saw this coming. Nobody saw this coming. So we didn't even get a chance to talk her off the ledge. We wouldn't even get a chance to be like, hey, you know what? I'm going to fucking section you. I know it sucks, but it's for your own good. We didn't get a chance to intervene at all. And that's what pisses me off, because we didn't get a shot.
Al, my friend from CVMA, who really pushed for me to join CVMA, and I decided that it was not a group for me. but he really pushed for me to join the CVMA chapter here in Colorado. And I was working in the VA ER. My shift was over. I walked out, and he's sitting in the VA ER waiting room, and he had not checked in. And I see him sitting there. My shift is over, backpack's on. I walk out, and I'm like, dude, what the fuck you doing here? And he's like, I fucked up my leg. Oh, I'm like, are you checked in yet? Do you need a hand? I'll stay and check you out. He's like, nah, man. He's like, you've been working all day. Go do your thing. I take off. I leave. Whatever. Find out like 3 days later that he took his own life.
Oh,
Turns out that he was in there to fucking get help. And he needed while he was there. And I'm like, fuck, dude. I was one of the last people to fucking talk to you. And I could have fucking helped you. And his fucking leg. Really, dude? Your fucking leg? I was sitting right there and I could have talked to you. I could have helped you.
it's so infuriating.
You want to grab him by the nostrils and be like, fuck you, dude. Why would you do that to me? Why would you leave me hanging like that?
Right. Like why, and we're never going to get these answers. And I think that's what fucking eats at you. It's like, he knew who you were. He knows what you do. He knew that you are a friend. Was he embarrassed to say, I need help? There's no, like,
8 o'clock at night on a
embarrassment be
fucking
damned.
Tuesday. I'm like, dude, I got
Fucking
nothing
dead.
else going on.
That's what I'm saying. Like, if you're fucking dead, think about all the other shit, all the other emotions that your friends and family are feeling. Fuck your embarrassment. We need you here. We need you here because you fucking matter to people.
Brutal. Absolutely brutal. I'm sorry for your loss, Al. I'm super
I'm sorry
for
for
your loss.
yours.
This was a while. This is a long time ago. This was 3 or 4 years ago. I'm sorry for your loss, Al. In the meantime, I'm running out of fucking airtime in like 3 minutes here, so I gotta fucking burn through it. Anything heavy show. Good Lord. I'm
But you know what? We need these
That's
every
what
now
happens
and
when I
again.
give Seth a night off.
Yeah. But you know what? Like I think people need to hear this, and it happened this way for a reason. And hopefully somebody who's listening knows to reach out. And I say this all the time, don't wait for someone to reach out to you. You reach out to somebody, even if you're fine. Like I once a week, I text message or I message or Instagram like 10 people. Hey, just checking in. How you doing? And I have like 10 conversations going. Some of them are like, yeah, no, I'm good. Others are like turn a little heavy. I'm like, okay, let me focus on this. I'm okay. I am not suicidal. I am okay, but I am reaching out because again, people may be embarrassed or I don't want to be a burden. Listen, you fucking call me on a Sunday at 5 o'clock in the morning asking about your VA claim. The least you can fucking do is call me at 5 o'clock in the morning on a Sunday telling me I'm going to take my own life. That's when you call me on a Sunday morning at 5 o'clock in the morning, not fucking want to know the status of your VA claim.
But guys don't do that. Guys, that's not how guys do it. I have friends where I'll get a text message at 5 o'clock on a Sunday morning and be like, hey, man, do you prefer the Rain-X windshield wipers or do you prefer the fucking, Enduro windshield wipers? And I'm like, all right. Well,
Is
all
that
right.
code?
I guess I got to set aside an hour and brew some coffee because we're going to be talking, aren't we? Because that's how, guys don't say, hey, man, I'm in a bad way and I'm hurting. They send a text message like, hey, you ever rebuilt a 4-barrel carburetor? Guys will ask you out of the blue questions.
Stupid questions, like weird. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it'd be
like,
easy
all
for
right.
them to be like, hey, what kind of tampon do you prefer? Okay, cool. You know what I mean? Like,
start sending, dude, that's what you got to start doing, Allie. You got to start sending those like inspirational quotes that come on the side of tampons and shit.
Yeah. Well, I've started my anti-inspirational.
You got to see the look I'm getting from Joe, the producer, right now. How do you know those exist? Motherfucker, I sent them to you, bitch. What are you talking about?
Because he's married.
I sit on the shitter and I pull them out of my wife's box and be like,
you got to do your never
on
forget.
tampons.
You got to do your never forgotten. It's 8:59.
sorry.
You
All
got
right.
to do your never forgotten.
Here we go. Because we don't need a fucking, because good night, Allie. Because we don't need a fucking safety brief tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, we close every show with Never Forgotten. Yesterday was the 25th anniversary of the bombing of the USS Cole. 17 American sailors lost their lives on October 12th of 2020. Please, when you say your prayers tonight, remember the 17 sailors that lost their lives on the USS Cole. Ladies and gentlemen, you've been listening to From the Ashes Radio. It's been a fucking heavy show, and I'm really sorry about that. I'm really sorry it's been a heavy show. yeah. You've been listening to From the Ashes on About Face Radio. Really, really appreciate your time tonight. I don't know why I'm burping all of a sudden. Really appreciate you listening tonight. Have a great rest of your evening. Enjoy your Monday Night Football. If you when this show goes off the air, you're immediately going to be turned over to WTF Moments. Enjoy them. Ice, you're a fucking awesome dude. I love your show. Have a great rest of your night. Thanks for listening, folks. Have a great night.